everyone, it's Dan from Stylized Art. I'm back again. Pleased to say I'm making another video. I knew I'd be back. I've just managed to get finished up on a commission piece that I've been working on. I've ended up doing a full day's work, then jumping straight onto the drawing monitor and just cracking this out, getting it finished. The commission piece that I've been working on, started it probably about a week ago. It's one of a series, I think one of 4 or one of 5 that I've been working on. I lost count now already. I've been working on these for so long. I'm going to give you a quick cheeky little glance at it now, but then this whole video, it's going to be the process, showing you the steps that I take when I'm working on it. So here we go. I'll give you a quick little sneaky peek now. Let's take a look. Okay, so there's the reference photo I've been working from. And there's the piece itself. Oh, let's give it a little quick zoom out. Is. But anyway, that's all I'm showing you for now. But we're going to get into the video. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about this piece and then we'll get it started with the time lapse. So this is actually a commission piece that I've been working on. It's one of, you could say 5. It's a set of 4, but then there's an additional one on top of that, so we'll call it 1 in 5. It was somebody that I met commissioned me to make these pieces as a bit of a celebration for her colleagues after finishing up a project that they've been doing together. I think it's a work project. I'm not going to say too much about it. I don't know how much they'll know. And with this going out online, I don't want it to cause any problems for anyone. It is a really cool concept that she's got me working on. It's pretty much based on a certain TV show. The style of it you might recognise maybe from like the posters or the cover, that kind of thing. It's meant to have kept that same similar ilk, but obviously be a work of its own. And as I said, this is one of, say, 5. This is number 4. So following this piece, there's going to be 1 left. And I'm probably going to be making a video of that, or maybe even if I manage to get up on the live stream finally, then I might use that as my first live stream. I don't know. We're gonna see. But anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. So let's get to work on showing you this piece of art. Let's start that time lapse. So as you can see, I've started out with that reference photo, got my layers in place, just starting out with a simple sketch layer. So I'm just carefully sketching out these lines around the face here, just going to get those general shapes in. In case you hadn't guessed, I'm using Photoshop on the PC here, using my trusty XP pen drawing monitor. You'll see it all start to come together. Just to warn you, the whole video isn't a tracing. This is just what I do to get the basic dimensions of the face, you could say, just keeping it all in proportion, just making sure that I get that likeness. I know some people have reservations about people tracing. I'm not too happy about it. Frankly, I don't see the problem. I can somewhat understand people's thinking, but I don't really see a problem with it. In my opinion, we just use the tools that are available to us, and this is one. And unfortunately, if you've got a problem with it, I do tend to do it on a lot of my artwork, so you may as well leave now because you're not going to be too happy. And also bear in mind, it's one tiny percentage of this entire artwork, when the majority of it just gets done by eyeballing it. Yeah, we're just getting finished up with these little trace lines and whatnot. Just want to get those last little cheeky ones in. Make sure they're all right where they need to be. They don't all need to be perfect. Not everything needs to be perfectly in place. You can probably guess a lot of this is going to end up being stylized. But the more precise that I get these around the face and those features, the more accurate that final piece could end up being. And with that tracing section's done, so we've got our head in place. So next up, we're going to have a crack at the line work on this head. Always fun, I love doing this line work. Just picking a comfortable size brush. I don't want it to be too thick, I'd rather have the lines slightly thinner now, and then I can thicken them up a little bit later, and I will be doing that. Just got a little bit of smoothing applied to these lines as well, just to help them be nice and crisp and clear. Just going to make our way around, try and keep these lines nice and smooth. Like I said, they don't need to be absolutely perfect because they'll get a little bit of a touch up later. And that's the line work for the head and the face pretty much done. So unfortunately, when I was doing the sketch for this body, the camera just didn't seem to record. It hasn't picked anything up, nothing's saved, so I haven't got the footage of that unfortunately, but we can still crack on with the line work now. So here it goes. Like I said before, slightly disproportionate. The head's going to be quite large. The body, like the legs, maybe look a little bit too small for the body here at this stage, but that's okay. It's all going to work out. With the other pieces that I've done that were a part of this series, they're all following the same structure for the background, so I kind of know which pieces are going to show and which aren't. It's almost going to be as if this character is sitting on a bus and she's got people either side of her, a little bit crammed up on the back of a bus, so she's in the middle seat, people either side of her. So the legs are going to get slightly covered. There's going to be a little bit of a vignette around it, so the very bottom of the legs, that's why I haven't got the feet that's not going to show, that's going to be vignetted out. So now we're going to make a start on the colour. So we'll just make sure we've got the layers in place that we need. We don't want to be drawing or colouring anything on the wrong layers. Absolutely not. So getting that flesh tone in there. This is just the very base tone, so it can be quite light. It doesn't have to be particularly dark at this stage. The way I tend to work is start off with quite a light tone and work my way up into the sort of deeper shadows layer by layer, and then throw in an added little bit of lightness which is even lighter than this tone a little bit later. Then we're getting all the different shades of that clothing in there. Although they do look very similar, there is a slight difference between them, and that can be picked out in the shadows as well when we get doing the shading a bit later and the highlights. So hopefully those colours aren't going to look too confusing together. So that's pretty much it for that base colour. We're going to have a little work on that line work now. Doing the line work is usually something that I'll do at the end. However, I'd normally keep the head and the body separate rather than like conjoining them like I have done here. But with the head and the body being joined up here, I felt like it just made sense to just smash that line work straight away. As you can see, in areas we're just thickening it up, mostly around the edge, slightly changing the shape and changing the directions of them here and there. Just making sure we don't overdo it. Just those nice cleaner lines, giving it a bit of a more refined look, adding to the shape. Just trying to stylize those lines a little bit. They can really add a bit of interest into the picture. Okay, now we're just about getting finished up with that line work. We're just going to get the logo in here for that clapperboard. So this is the same thing I've used on the other pictures, and it's going to go on the last one as well. Just lining it up, get it in place, boom. And make those cheeky little touches as well, get the depth on it. Now here comes a fun bit. I'm going to get some blood splatters on there. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, happy with that. Next I think we can get into doing some shadows, and this is where it's really going to start to take shape. So we just select the areas that we want to paint. Okay, so we're going to start with the next tone up, so it's not the darkest. Just got to pick out those areas where we want the shadows to be. Try and get them nice and neat, nice crisp lines. Almost just making little shapes with our lines. Lovely, loving the way this is turning out so far. Okay, so once the clothing's done, we're going to be moving on to the sort of the flesh colour. Again, just making sure our layers are all in order. Started out with the hands and then move up to the face. The hands aren't too bad, but for me the face is always where I struggle. Having the cheek the wrong shape, shadows in the wrong place on the chin or the nose can completely distort how this person looks on the picture. So I've got to take a lot of time and a lot of care and effort over this. Sometimes helps to just blot in roughly, get an area of shadow in there, and then use the eraser to just remove pieces. Try to shape the shadows. Just trying to be a little bit direct and confident with the strokes. Great thing about using Photoshop and these drawing tablets or drawing monitors, you're not committed to like paint on paper or whatnot. Everything can be removed, everything can be changed. Makes it a great process to do. Like everybody's favourite Bob Ross says, no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents. Looking good. I think we're pretty much there. Okay, so now the face shadow is out of the way, we're going to get a second layer of shadows on the clothing. So pick a little bit darker, get the layers in place. We're going to use that multiply setting on the shadows. start making our shapes and making our way around the picture. Yeah, these really help to add depth. Looking great. Yeah, just get those shapes right, just delete out any bits and pieces that we aren't happy with. Get the eraser on there. Superb. Like I said before, just being confident and committing to those lines. They can all be changed later if necessary. Okay, and then we're doing the same for like the facial shadows. Those dark shadows really helping it pop, really making the shape of those cheeks pop. And the shape in that nose, the chin, the lips. Wow, this is turning out even better than I thought it might. like the way this is turning out. The shapes are looking fantastic. Okay, then we move on to the hands, get those done, nice and simple. To the lips, just give some good shape to them. Getting the final shadow into the eyes too. Wow, super. Love the way this is going. Now we've finished the shadows, we're just going to get some highlights on there. Just pick out the right spots. Don't want to go too heavy with these. Getting too many of these light highlights on the face can make it look wet, can make it look blotchy. Got to be careful. Don't overdo these. Getting the white on the eyes too. I do love adding in these highlights. They make a real difference. They can really bring a picture to life. They just display that little bit of contrast between the dark and light areas. Really gives some depth. Again, don't want to overdo it too much on the clothing pieces. Just some basic lines here and there I think will do. Just shows the edges, the creases. Okay, so now we'll get it sized up. Then we'll pull in some of the background and that vignette from the previous picture. I'm going to use the same ones that we've used in those other previous artworks. Now we need to give it a look of as if there's passengers on the bus around her. So she's squeezed in on that seat, shoulders either side of her, legs sort of pushing across her legs. Bit funny with the layering here. I want it to be like those shoulders are behind her, so her shoulders are poking in front, but the legs, her legs are being covered by those other people's legs. So it's a little bit awkward to just get that arranged here. Just trying to make it fit, make it look right. I'm just giving the last touches, last bits of arrangement. Then we want to get some light reflections from outside. See those lights behind? Got the red and the yellow. So we just want them reflecting. So we're going to add some of those little reflections to the clothing here and there. Also maybe a little bit on the hand. nice little touch as well is getting it into the eyes. So where we've got those little reflections in the eyes, just going to give a little speck of colour to those as well. A little bit of the red and a little bit of yellow. Okay, and there we have it. That's that time lapse over. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm really pleased with the way this artwork turned out, and soon I might be able to give you a peek of all of them together. We've still got one more to go. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a video on YouTube or if it's going to be done on a live stream, but just keep your eyes peeled because it's on its way. So once again, a massive thank you to all of you for sticking around, having a watch. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed seeing the process I go through. And now keep your eyes peeled for more from me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.